Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Okay, I'd like to acknowledge the elected leaders that have joined me today. We have Senator Ben Cardin, who will be arriving shortly, Senator Van Hollen, Congressman John Sarbanes, State Senator Mary Washington, Councilman Robert Stokes, and the other elected leaders here. Okay, Jerry Ann Anthony, Director of the Mayor's Office of Homeless Service, Carol Payne, Field Office Director of HUD, Elizabeth Torres Brown, Director of Baltimore Youth Opportunity Program. On behalf of the City of Baltimore and the Mayor's Office of Homeless Services, I'm proud to announce our selection by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to participate in the Youth Homelessness Demonstration Program and receive $3.7 million in funding to support efforts to prevent and end youth homelessness. The health, safety, and long-term success of our young people is of great importance to the overall vitality of our city. We're honored to have the opportunity and are committed to working to develop a high-quality, data-driven plan. And we are committed to seeing it through so that every young person in our community can meet their full potential. First, let me thank our federal partners, elected officials, and our partners at HUD for your work in securing this needed funding. I would also like to acknowledge and thank each of the community partners that made this opportunity possible. I thank the young leaders of the Youth Advisory Board in our community who use their personal experience of homelessness to advocate for the policy and practices necessary to end youth homelessness. Our selection is also a testament to the leadership and strategic guidance provided by the Mayor's Office of Homeless Services that will support this effort and ensure our continued success. I would also like to thank the Baltimore City Continuum of Care, comprised of a diverse group of community leaders and agencies serving youth, providing continued expertise and collaboration as the foundation for all of our efforts. In Baltimore City, the most recent youth reach count found that nearly 1,500 youth experienced homelessness in the course of a year. The actual number is anticipated to be much higher, perhaps 5 times that. And at the same time, only 10% of our youth surveyed were also found to be accessing mainstream homeless services resource. There is a severe shortage of overall resources as well as service tailored to meet the specific needs of young people experiencing homelessness. Our future success demands that each of us come together as one to work collectively, understand the barriers that our young adults face, and work diligently and responsibly to ensure they have access to the quality service they deserve to ensure that homelessness is truly rare and brief. Recently, Baltimore City adopted a 3-year action plan on homelessness, designed to aggressively address homelessness in our community and demonstrate that Baltimore City can and will prove that homelessness is solvable. This opportunity increases our capacity and ability to commit to success. I call on each of us to see ourselves as a part of the solution and demonstrate that we wholeheartedly support the success of all young people, including those experiencing homelessness. Now let me introduce one of our legislators in Washington that work hard to bring this money back to our youth, Senator Chris Van Hollen.
Thank you, Mayor Young, and I want to start by thanking you for your leadership in the city and for energetically tackling all the issues we're facing in the city and also seizing the opportunities that we have to seize in Baltimore City. And I'm especially pleased to be here today to join you in announcing the $3.7 million grant to the Mayor's Office on Homeless Services with the goal of ending homelessness for youth in Baltimore City, in this case, youth between the ages of 18 and 24 years old. I want to commend you and your team, including Jerry Ann Anthony and Elizabeth Torres Brown and others, for submitting a very strong application to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. And I'm pleased, so thank you and your team. That strong proposal made it easier for Senator Cardin, who will be joining us soon, and Congressman Sarbanes, and Congressman Elijah Cummings, and Team Baltimore, put us in a good position to strongly support that application from HUD. And we want to thank the HUD representatives here for seeing the strength of that application and joining us in this effort. And Team Baltimore, of course, not only includes the mayor, but members of the council. Very pleased to have Council Member Stokes joining us today, and thank you for your leadership. And of course, the Maryland General Assembly delegation. And really pleased to be here with State Senator Mary Washington, who is the Senate Chair of the Joint Committee on Ending Homelessness in the General Assembly. So thank you very much for joining us, Senator Washington. Every person in Baltimore, in Maryland, deserves to have a safe place to call home. And that is especially true of our young people, and young people who've been separated from their families and have no independent means of support and stability are especially vulnerable and face extreme hardships and trauma. They're more likely to be the victims of abuse, and they're also more likely, if we don't intervene, to find themselves in prison. And so it is our obligation to do everything we can to provide resources to end youth homelessness. And that is exactly what this grant is designed to do. As the mayor said, it's estimated based on the youth reach count that there are 1,500 youth who are homeless in Baltimore City. But if you look at the methodology used by that count and you factor in other things, it's estimated that that number could be as high as 7,500. And so this grant is urgently needed, and its purpose is, number one, to help the city identify the scope of the problem, to help the city put in place its strategy that it's been developing to end youth homelessness. And that includes, as the mayor mentioned, bringing young people into this process and really including them and asking them, what is the best strategy for the city to help you in addressing this issue? It will help expand the ability to provide shelters for youth and the rapid rehousing efforts in Baltimore City, again, with the goal of ending youth homelessness in Baltimore City. We want our young people to be able to focus on their future. We don't want them having to spend their time worrying about whether they're going to have a safe place to live. And really, that's what this is all about. And that's why it's really important that this is shaped with all the stakeholders, including the young people, but also the school system, workforce opportunity agencies to try to make sure that young people have an opportunity to get into the workforce, behavioral health centers. Really, we need everybody around the table, and that's what this grant will do. Just in closing, as I turn it over to my friend and colleague, Congressman Sarbanes, I will say that we're pleased the federal government had the resources to make this grant. I will tell you that we are right now in the middle of a major battle to make sure that at the federal level, HUD gets the resources it needs, not just for this program, but for other programs that are important to the city. The administration proposed a $9.8 billion cut to HUD programs, which would have a devastating impact in the city, around the state, and around the country. And so as we go toward the end of this month, September 30th is the end of the fiscal year, we're going to be working very hard on a bipartisan basis in Congress to make sure that we do not see those kind of devastating cuts to the housing and other programs like education programs, and so that we can do right by the youth of Baltimore City and the people of Baltimore City. So a key partner in that effort in the House and a key member of Team Maryland, of course, is Congressman John Sarbanes, and I'm really pleased to turn it over to him at this time. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Senator Van Hollen. The senators detailed a lot of the key elements of this HUD grant. I'm mostly here to congratulate the team. As the senator said, it shows that Baltimore is a city that cares that this application to HUD was made, and it shows that the agency trusts Baltimore, this mayor, and his team to implement the program in an effective way that the grant was awarded. $3.7 million is a significant amount of funding to go behind this youth homelessness prevention effort, and I want to congratulate the city on it. I'm glad to be here with our colleagues in government, Senator Cardin, who you'll hear from in a moment, Mayor Young, Councilman Stokes, State Senator Mary Washington, because we all work together as a team to try to lift up the people of Baltimore, and in this case, young people in Baltimore who are facing homelessness. This program comes under the auspices of the McKinney-Vento Act, which was first passed back in 1987 and was recently reauthorized by Congress. And I remember about 25 years ago when I was working with the Public Justice Center here in Baltimore that we used the tools of the McKinney-Vento Act to make sure that homeless children were able to get transportation to a home school. Because over the course of a year, if you move from one shelter to another, you would end up in different schools. It would interrupt the instructional program, and it would set children back. So that's an example of how the McKinney-Vento Act has been used over time. This is another dimension of it now, which is setting up this demonstration program, and Baltimore is going to participate in this in a meaningful way to address a homeless youth in that 18 to 24 age bracket. And as was mentioned, we have a lot of young people that are in that situation. The data, the studies show about 1,500, but as the mayor said, it could be more than 5 times as many people that are facing homelessness, young people in this city. So I'm just very pleased that Baltimore was one of the ones that was awarded this funding. Congratulations to the city, to the mayor, to the Office of Homeless Services for that. It's going to make a huge difference here, and we're going to demonstrate in this demonstration program that Baltimore was the right choice for this funding. As was mentioned, Mary Washington has a very, very key role in Annapolis in terms of addressing homelessness in the state of Maryland. Of course, here in the city of Baltimore, it's a real pleasure to turn the podium over to Senator Washington.
Good morning, everyone. It's a wonderful day. You deserve it. The children of Baltimore City deserve every penny of this $3.7 million. And you deserve so much more. I'm honored. I'm Senator Mary Washington. I am the Senate Chair of the Joint Committee on Ending Homelessness. But more importantly, I'm your neighbor. I am a partner in this, and I'm here to represent this collaboration among our city, Baltimore City, our federal partners, and the state of Maryland. We passed a Youth Homelessness Act that created a fund to provide and address homelessness among youth across the state. There's only 1.2 million, so I'm going to go right back and say, hey, we've been challenged by, we're not going to be turned over by, the federal government. Maybe we can triple that if the governor's listening to that. But more importantly, I want to thank all of you who've been working on this for years. There are people in this room that have been trying to raise up the voices of young people in our city and our state who are going to school, who are in our classrooms, who are working, who don't have a place to stay at the end of their shift. That when everyone else is going home to their families, they don't have a place to do their homework. We live in one of the wealthiest states in the country, and for that fact, we should be ashamed. I am grateful for your commitment to forcing us to hear your voices. And finally, through the work that we're doing at the state level, and frankly, Baltimore City has been the leader in this issue for more than a decade. And we are the right place to demonstrate not only to the country, but to the rest of the state what needs to be done. So thank you all so much. We look forward to fighting with you. Just young people, I know there have been people, we've made promises to you in the past, But I hope that you will see that over the years that you've participated in the work groups, you've come out, you participated in this youth work, you were our numerators, and now that the benefits of your hard work is coming to fruition. So trust us when we say that we are committed and this money demonstrates your value, and we are honored to continue to serve you. And you are our best asset. You are our brighter days. And again, congratulations to everyone who's a part of this beginning, and we look forward to continuing this good work. Thank you. And so now I want to introduce my local partner, my friend, Councilman Robert Stokes, whose district we're in, and we've worked on a number of issues together, and he cares very much on this issue, so thank you.
Thank you, Senator. First, I want to thank God for being here today, but I don't want to echo what our congressional people have said, but I want to thank our congressional partners. I sit on the continuum of care. They're doing a wonderful job. The mayor's office on homeless services. The most important part is we have the money to have a model here in Baltimore City to talk about and address the youth homeless here in Baltimore City. We can make this a model program, so when this is over, and I know it's going to be successful, our young people will have some opportunities how to navigate systems that they don't have now. But it's going to be a great day in Baltimore, and I want to thank everybody, all the partners, for putting this together and working hard. But most important is we addressing the youth homelessness in Baltimore City, and I know this could be a model program that could go all over the city. And I want to thank everybody who took part in this. Thank you.
Congratulations to us. We are super excited about this award, about the opportunity to develop a comprehensive plan that will impact our youth across the city of Baltimore. On behalf of this continuum of care, we thank you guys for being here with us today. We thank our youth providers, Yes, all of our youth providers, our sister agencies, MOED, HABC, who assisted us in strengthening our application and making it a sound application, strong, developing and acknowledging the comprehensive needs of our young adults across the city of Baltimore. We look forward to being here with you in a year to share what our comprehensive plan entails, and a year from then to be able to share how we are effectively using this money to really drive down homelessness in the city of Baltimore. I thank all of you for being here with us today. The party's not over. This continuum of care, we do an annual fundraising event typically held in the month of October. This year it's going to be on October 4th. We hope that all of you will come out and join us, celebrate with us. It's an opportunity for us to share with you our action plan to end homelessness here in the city of Baltimore. It's from 12 to 4. Please check out our website. Again, this is only the beginning of our work. We have a long path to go, but we are confident that with our leadership of our mayor, city council, our state delegates, that we can get the job done. So this demonstration grant that we are receiving will prove to us, will prove to the rest of the world, will demonstrate that homelessness is solvable, and we look forward to working with all of you to be a part of that solution. And for closing remarks, I'm going to turn it over to Senator Cardin.
Well, good morning. First, Mayor Young, I love Baltimore. It's a great, great city. And one of the things I love about this city and its leaders is that they recognize challenges and then they set out to deal with those challenges. To Mayor Young, thank you for putting together the team that has identified this need in Baltimore so that you could qualify for very highly competitive federal funds. The state of Maryland is going to receive about 10% of the total federal funds that are available in this area. That's a great statement about our leadership in Maryland. And the largest grant's going to Baltimore City. And that's because Baltimore City has a plan. And they have the capacity, and they have the stakeholders, and they know how to deal with this issue. So to Mayor Young and the council, thank you for what you have done. But you need other partners helping you deal with these issues. You can't do it alone. So thank you for the leadership in the state. And I tell you, Team Maryland, our federal delegation, is laser focused on helping Mayor Young deal with his needs for the people of Baltimore City. So John Sarbanes, who just spoke, what an incredible leader he has been on the issues of urban living. These are challenging times. and he's been there as a major leader to get us the funds. Elijah Cummings, Dutch Rupersberger. We have a great congressional federal team. And Chris Van Hollen is right. We got to fight and get coalitions so that we get the financial support in the budget to deal with our urban problems. And that's exactly the type of coalitions that we're forming in Washington to get the job done. So this is the challenge. You all have heard it. The challenge is that homelessness among children is a complicated subject. There's no one reason for it. We know that we have broken homes. We know that we have abusive circumstances where children are forced to leave. We know we have issues with parents that have addiction. We know that we have foster parent situations that are not tenable for children. We know all that exists. But we need to figure out a game plan to deal with emergency housing, transitional housing, and permanent housing. And that's exactly what Baltimore City is going to do. And is going to listen to the children, and we're going to develop a plan because, quite frankly, we're proud of what Baltimore is taking on, but we hope we can have a news conference to say there's not a single homeless child in Baltimore City. That's our objective. In our state, that should not, anywhere that should not exist. But we're taking on this challenge, and I couldn't be prouder with our team, Maryland, with the leadership of Mayor Young, and taking on this challenge. Congratulations on getting this federal partnership. It wasn't easy, well-deserved, and we look forward to working with you to accomplish the goal to end homelessness here in our city.
Thank you, Senator. Before we take any questions, I want to acknowledge Colonel Mo. We call him Mo. Can you stand up? Just recently promoted the rank of colonel, am I correct? Yeah, okay. Carol, did you want to say anything before we close out?
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here and celebrating with the Mayor's Office of Homeless Services. I am so proud of the work that they do. Often you are working in the community and you're trying to answer issues that are so important, and in this case, critically important to youth. And so when I received the news that the Mayor's Office of Homeless Services would receive $3.7 million to address youth homelessness, and I am just waiting for the moment that we return here to say we have ended youth homelessness. I know that we can do this here in Baltimore. We are a model across the country. This gives us yet one more time to show the country what it is that we do, particularly in Baltimore City. I am so pleased to join the congressional delegation, the mayor, Councilman Stokes, and my good friend, Senator Washington, to just celebrate this moment. I ask all of you that are here to make sure that you are available to support this wonderful work that is going to happen. It will take all of us to make sure that $3.7 million goes where we need it to go and to stretch it as far as we can. I could not leave the podium without thanking Janet Abrams, who received that $3.7 million. She is a great partner. I know that you're aware of the work that she is doing around the city in terms of public housing. So I want you to stop and just take a moment and give a round of applause for Team Baltimore right now. And before I leave the podium, I must tell you, greetings from Secretary Carson and from my boss, Regional Administrator Joe DeFelice. Congratulations, and let's move forward.
Thank you. Before we take any questions, I just want everyone to know that I take the Mayor's Office of Homeless Services serious. They are now in the mayor's cabinet. They're no longer in an agency. They are cabinet level. And we have such a great young lady that's running it that really gets it and really know what it means to provide the services that not only our young people need, but the general population of homelessness. And I'm happy to have her as a part of my team. At this time, we'll take any questions.
Can someone just explain a bit more about how the money will actually be spent?
The first 4 to 6 months will be used to develop a comprehensive plan. So we'll be spending a lot of time with our partners, such as HABC, Mayor's Office of Employment and Development, YO, HEBCAC, yes, some of our youth partners. We also have a youth advisory council made up of youth who are experiencing homelessness, who will have come to the table and help us to develop a comprehensive plan, analyzing what the gaps are in our system and making a plan to fill those gaps through use of this $3.7 million. We hope to be able to expand our rapid rehousing program, expand our permanent supportive housing program, and initiate a prevention and diversion program for young adults. These are all programs that are tried and true and have been tested in other communities, and we know that they are interventions that will work to end homelessness. It's a 2-year grant, but at the end of the 2 years, it has an option to extend. So we'll be looking forward to being able to, again, multiply the resources that we have available for homeless youth here in the city of Baltimore.